Beloved chosen one, have you ever walked into a room and felt the atmosphere shift, even before you spoke a single word? Some glance at you with curiosity, while others seem uneasy, as if they can sense something about you they can't quite explain. You aren't trying to stand out, yet your presence alone demands attention. If this feels familiar, know that it's not a coincidence. You carry something extraordinary, an energy that radiates beyond the physical, a divine frequency that cannot be ignored. This is the mark of God's chosen ones. Before we dive deeper, I want to pause and express my deepest gratitude to every single one of you who has supported this mission through super thanks. Your generosity doesn't just sustain this platform, it helps spread the message of spiritual awakening to more chosen ones around the world. You are part of something far greater than you may even realize, and I am profoundly thankful for you. Being chosen is not about superiority, it's about carrying a divine assignment. Your spiritual energy resonates at a higher frequency, and not everyone is prepared to handle it. Have you noticed how some people seem drawn to you, yet others seem unsettled, even without knowing why? Have you ever been told that you are too much simply for being authentic, honest, or deeply insightful? Proverbs 4:18 reminds us, "The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day." Your energy shines that very light, unapologetically illuminating truth and disrupting falsehoods. But here's the truth. When your presence reveals what others have hidden, even from themselves, it can be intimidating. Your energy is a mirror, reflecting both light and shadows, and that can be unsettling for those not yet ready to see. But take heart, chosen one, for this is not a burden. It is your divine purpose. Stay with me, because we are about to uncover the 5 undeniable signs that reveal how your spiritual energy is affecting those around you. And if this message resonates with you, affirm it right now by commenting 999 below. Let it be a declaration of your divine presence, your calling, and your unwavering light in this world. Now, let's begin. God's chosen ones, 5 signs. Your spiritual energy is scaring people. The first sign that your spiritual energy is scaring people is your unexplainable presence. This has nothing to do with how you look, what you wear, or the words you speak. It's about the unseen force you carry, the energy that radiates from you before you even utter a word. People feel it instinctively. It's in the way you walk, the way you hold yourself, and the way your eyes seem to pierce straight into their soul. This presence isn't something you cultivate intentionally. It's a reflection of the divine alignment within you. As it is written in Ecclesiastes 8:1, "A person's wisdom brightens their face and changes its hard appearance." Your energy radiates wisdom, clarity, and truth, and this alone can challenge the superficiality that others cling to. Have you ever noticed how some people avoid eye contact with you or seem to grow uneasy in your presence? Perhaps their tone changes or they start to fidget. This reaction isn't about you doing something wrong. It's because your presence touches a depth that most people aren't prepared to face. Many spend their entire lives behind masks, building facades to shield their vulnerabilities. When someone like you walks into their world, someone who sees past those walls, it can feel unsettling, even intimidating. Just as Hebrews 4:13 reminds us, nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. Your presence reflects this divine truth, and it stirs something in their spirit that they cannot ignore. This reaction happens because your energy is like a mirror, reflecting back to others the truths they've been avoiding. When you're aligned with your higher self, you carry a spiritual vibration that brings to light their unhealed wounds, fears, and insecurities. These are the shadows they've hidden from themselves. often for years. In your presence, all of it comes rushing to the surface, forcing them to confront what they've been running from. Think about Jesus' interactions with people during his ministry. In Mark 5:1-17, when Jesus healed the man possessed by a legion of demons, the townspeople didn't celebrate, they were afraid. They begged him to leave their region because his presence exposed spiritual realities they couldn't comprehend. Similarly, your energy reveals truths that many aren't ready to face, and their discomfort isn't a reflection of you. It's a reaction to the light you shine on their shadows. Have you ever wondered why someone seemed defensive or distant around you for no apparent reason? This isn't personal. Their reaction is rooted in the way your energy challenges their inner world. Just as light dispels darkness, your vibration disrupts the illusions they've created for themselves. It's not about confrontation, it's about awakening. Chosen one, understand that your presence is not a burden, it is a gift. While it may unsettle some, it also inspires others to seek the truth within themselves. Embrace this part of your journey, and remember, as Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world." Your light has the power to heal, guide, and transform, even if it makes people uncomfortable at first. Let your presence continue to be a reflection of God's purpose in your life. The second sign is that people either feel drawn to you or repelled by you. Your spiritual energy divides people into two clear groups: those who are irresistibly drawn to you and those who feel unsettled by your presence. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem magnetically pulled toward you, while others seem almost uncomfortable the moment you walk into a room? For those who are seeking growth, healing, or awakening, your energy feels like a beacon. Even if they don't fully understand it, they sense that your presence carries something they need, something that resonates with their soul. Think about Jesus during his ministry. Crowds of people followed him wherever he went, drawn by the wisdom and healing power he carried. In John 6:68, Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life." Similarly, your energy may act as a spiritual magnet for those who are ready to heal and evolve. On the other hand, there are those who feel repelled by your energy. Why do you think some people react with irritation or avoidance when they're around you? These are often individuals deeply attached to their comfort zones, unwilling to confront their own inner struggles. Your energy shakes the foundation of their carefully constructed reality, forcing them to confront truths they've long suppressed. Have you ever felt like your very existence makes someone uneasy, even though you've done nothing to provoke them? This reaction isn't about you, it's about the light you carry. As Proverbs 28:1 says, "The wicked flee though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." Your energy shines a light on their insecurities, fears, and unhealed wounds. For some, this light is a call to transformation, but for others, it feels like a threat. When someone avoids eye contact with you or seems defensive without reason, do you recognize it as their struggle to face the truth reflected in your presence? Imagine your energy as a mirror. When people encounter you, they are forced to see a reflection of their own inner world. For those who are ready, this reflection inspires healing and self-discovery. But for those who resist, it feels overwhelming. How do you handle these reactions? Do you ever find yourself trying to tone down your energy or shrink yourself to avoid making others uncomfortable? Chosen one, let me remind you of this. Your light is not meant to be hidden. You are not here to blend in or fit into someone else's expectations. You are here to expand, to shine, and to awaken others simply by being who God created you to be. Matthew 5:15 says, "Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." How can you let your light shine boldly without worrying about how others react? Consider the example of John the Baptist. His presence was polarizing, his message powerful. He prepared the way for Jesus, calling people to repentance and awakening, even when it made others uncomfortable. In Matthew 3:3, it says, "A voice of one calling in the wilderness, prepare the way for the Lord, make straight paths for him." Like John, your energy may feel disruptive to some, but it's also a catalyst for growth and change. Do not apologize for the energy you carry. It is not a flaw or a burden. It is a divine gift. Those who are drawn to you will find inspiration, healing, and transformation in your presence. Those who are repelled by you may not yet be ready to face the truths your light reveals, but that is not your responsibility. As Galatians 1:10 reminds us, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. How can you embrace your divine calling fully, knowing that every reaction to your energy is part of God's plan? Your role is not to make everyone comfortable. Your role is to be a vessel for truth, growth, and awakening. Trust that your presence is fulfilling its purpose, even when it unsettles others. How will you step boldly into your purpose as one of God's chosen ones? The third sign that your spiritual energy is scaring people is that you often find yourself misunderstood. Have you ever tried to share your thoughts, your dreams, or even your truth, only to have people dismiss, misinterpret, or criticize you? This experience of being misunderstood isn't because there's something wrong with the way you communicate. It's because your spiritual energy is operating on a frequency that many people are simply not ready to tune into. People might label you as too intense, too sensitive, or even too intimidating. But what they're really saying is that your energy feels overwhelming to them because it disrupts their comfort zone. Have you noticed how some people react defensively when you simply express who you are? This misunderstanding happens because your vibration is aligned with divine truth, while many around you are still operating within the lower vibrations of fear, judgment, or ego. It's as if you're speaking a completely different language, a spiritual language that their soul recognizes, but their mind and heart are not ready to accept. They might twist your words or question your intentions, not because you're wrong, but because your light is too much for them to process. Even Jesus, the ultimate example of spiritual leadership, faced this same struggle. In John 1:10-11, it says, "He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him." Despite being the Son of God, he was misunderstood by his own people, even by his closest disciples at times. If Christ himself faced rejection and misunderstanding, why would it be different for you as one of his chosen ones? Do you see how your journey is connected to something much greater than the opinions of those around you? This constant feeling of being misunderstood can sometimes lead to deep loneliness. You might look around and wonder why no one seems to truly understand your heart, your thoughts, or your purpose. But here's an important truth to hold on to. The chosen ones are often misunderstood because they are ahead of their time. You were not created to blend in or conform to the expectations of others. You were created to lead. And leadership, especially spiritual leadership, isn't about being understood or liked by everyone. Look at the story of Noah. He was given a divine instruction to build an ark when the world around him had no concept of the storm that was coming. People mocked him, misunderstood him, and rejected his mission. Yet, Noah stayed faithful to his calling. Genesis 6:9 describes him as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Like Noah, you might feel like you're walking a path that others can't relate to. But this doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. In fact, it's a sign that you're on the exact path God has set for you. Can you see how your journey, like Noah's, is meant to prepare and guide others, even if they don't understand right now? When you're misunderstood, it can be tempting to shrink yourself, to tone down your light, or to hide parts of your soul so you can fit in with others. But chosen one, this is not your purpose. You are not called to be small. Romans 12:2 reminds us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." You are here to transform, to lead, and to awaken, not to seek the approval of others. What would happen if you stopped worrying about being misunderstood and instead focused on walking fully in your truth? The reality is that being misunderstood is a confirmation of your calling. It is a sign that you are operating on a higher spiritual plane, one that others may not yet be ready to join. Remember Jesus' words in Matthew 5:10-12. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Your experience of misunderstanding is not a punishment, but a blessing, a sign that you are walking in alignment with God's plan. Your role as a chosen one is not to convince others of your truth. It's to live authentically in your purpose, trusting that those who are meant to understand you will eventually do so. The isolation, the rejection, and the loneliness you may feel are all tools God is using to strengthen you for the path ahead. Do you believe that the very things that set you apart are the keys to fulfilling your divine mission? When people don't understand you, stand firm. When they criticize you, hold on to your truth. And when you feel alone, remember that you are never truly alone. God has chosen you, equipped you, and placed His Spirit within you. Those who misunderstand you now may one day thank you for being bold enough to stand in your truth. How can you embrace your unique path, knowing that misunderstanding is not a weakness, but a divine confirmation of your purpose? Your journey as a chosen one is not about fitting in. It's about leading, awakening, and inspiring others, even if it means walking a lonely road. Trust in the path God has laid before you, and know that your light, though misunderstood by many, is a guiding force for those who are ready to follow. The fourth sign is that your intuition is razor sharp, and it unsettles people. Have you ever had a moment when someone said one thing, but you could feel that their words didn't align with the energy behind them? This isn't just a passing feeling. It's your spiritual intuition picking up on the unspoken truths that most people overlook. You don't just hear what people say, you sense what they mean. This gift allows you to see beyond the surface and into the deeper layers of a person's energy. Your intuition operates on a higher frequency, one that is deeply connected to divine truth. It's why you can detect dishonesty, hidden motives, or mismatched energies with such clarity. As Proverbs 20:27 says, "The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being." Your spirit acts like a divine lamp, illuminating the things people try to hide, whether intentionally or subconsciously. For those who aren't ready to face their truths, your presence and insight can feel intimidating, even intrusive. Have you ever had someone accuse you of being too nosy or prying, when all you were doing was simply sensing their energy? This sharp intuition often leads people to ask you things like, "How did you know that?" Or, "It's like you can read my mind." The truth is, your spiritual energy is attuned to sub-frequencies that others ignore. You're not just listening to their words, you're feeling their energy, noticing their body language, and aligning with the truth they may not even be aware of themselves. This gift of insight can feel overwhelming at times, both for you and for those you interact with. Have you ever wondered why some people seem uncomfortable opening up to you, even though you've done nothing but quietly observe? Chosen one, This gift is not something to fear or suppress. It is a divine tool given to you for a reason. The challenge lies in trusting your intuition, especially when it reveals things that others try to hide. How often do you second-guess yourself, thinking, maybe I'm imagining this, or what if I'm wrong? The more you trust your inner knowing, the more precise and powerful it becomes. As James 1:5 reminds us, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. People who are used to hiding behind masks often find your presence unsettling because they know on some level that you see them clearly. This can create tension, especially in relationships where authenticity is lacking. Have you ever felt someone pull away from you, not because of anything you've said, but because they sensed that you could see parts of them they weren't ready to confront? This isn't a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the discomfort your light brings to their shadows. At the same time, your intuition is a magnet for those who are seeking truth, healing, and wisdom. These individuals will be drawn to you, not just for what you say, but for what you see, the depths of their being that others overlook. Like Solomon, who prayed for discernment and received divine wisdom, 1 Kings 3:9-12, you have been gifted with the ability to see what others cannot. How can you use this gift to guide and uplift those who are ready to step into the light? Your intuition may unsettle some, but it is also what sets you apart as one of God's chosen ones. Trust that this gift was given to you with purpose. Those who are ready for your wisdom will seek you out, and those who aren't may retreat. But that is not your burden to carry. Instead, focus on strengthening your connection with your intuition and allowing it to guide you. The more you lean into your intuition, the stronger it becomes. Trust it, nurture it, and allow it to be a source of guidance for yourself and others. You are not here to dim your insight or silence your inner knowing. You are here to see, to feel, and to guide with the light God has placed within you. Chosen one, will you step boldly into this role, knowing that your intuition is a divine gift meant to illuminate the path for yourself and those who are ready to follow? The fifth sign that your spiritual energy is scaring people is that you don't conform to societal norms. Have you ever been asked, why can't you just go along with it? Or, why do you always have to question everything? These words often come from people who find comfort in following societal expectations, in doing what's been done for generations without question. For them, conformity feels like safety. It allows them to avoid conflict, judgment, or the discomfort of change. But for you, chosen one, this way of living doesn't feel natural. You've always felt different, as though you were meant to challenge the system rather than be part of it. Have you noticed how people grow uneasy when you start asking questions they'd rather not think about? Your spiritual energy gives you the ability to see beyond the surface. You see through the illusions of the 3D world, the societal norms, rules, and systems that others blindly accept. You recognize that many of these structures are built on fear, control, and ego, rather than truth, freedom, and divine alignment. This clarity allows you to break free from the collective programming that keeps so many people stuck. As Ephesians 5:11 says, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Your very presence exposes these systems for what they are, and this can make people feel unsettled or even defensive. Have you ever wondered why simply being yourself seems to disrupt the status quo? This nonconformity is not a rebellion for its own sake. It's a reflection of your higher calling. You were not created to blend in with the crowd or to follow a pre-written script. You were created to lead, to question, and to forge a new path. Just as Romans 12:2 reminds us, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Your journey is one of transformation, not just for yourself, but for those who are inspired by your example. Do you see how your refusal to conform is paving the way for others to awaken? Consider how Jesus challenged societal norms during his time on earth. He didn't simply go along with the expectations of religious leaders or adhere to the rigid traditions of the day. Instead, he disrupted the status quo, speaking truth to power and standing firm in his divine purpose. In John 2:15-16, Jesus famously overturned the tables of the money changers in the temple, declaring, "Stop turning my Father's house into a market." His actions were bold, unapologetic, and deeply unsettling to those in positions of power. Your nonconformity may inspire some, but it also threatens others. Those who are deeply attached to societal norms often feel uncomfortable in your presence because your energy forces them to question their own choices. Have you noticed how people sometimes resist you or even criticize you when you challenge their beliefs? This resistance isn't about you. It's about the discomfort they feel when their illusions are disrupted. As 1 Peter 2:9 says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." You have been called out of darkness, and your light naturally exposes what others may prefer to keep hidden. At the same time, your refusal to conform serves as a beacon of hope for those who are ready to break free from societal expectations. Think about Moses, who led the Israelites out of Egypt and away from the chains of conformity. Moses didn't follow the norms of his time. He challenged Pharaoh and the entire system of oppression. In Exodus 14:13-14, Moses told the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." Like Moses, you are called to guide others out of bondage. Bondage to fear, to systems of control, and to limiting beliefs. Have you ever considered that your courage to challenge the status quo is not just for you, but for those who are watching and waiting for someone to lead the way? Your path of non-conformity can be lonely, but it is also sacred. It requires immense courage to stand apart, to ask the questions no one else is asking, and to challenge systems that others find comfort in. But chosen one, remember this: you are not walking this path alone. God has equipped you with the strength, wisdom, and insight to fulfill your mission. As Galatians 5:1 reminds us, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Can you see how your nonconformity is a form of spiritual freedom that inspires others to break free as well? Your energy isn't meant to blend in. It's meant to disrupt, to challenge, and to awaken. Trust that every question you ask, every system you challenge, and every step you take away from conformity is part of a greater plan. Chosen one, your refusal to conform is not a flaw, it's your greatest strength. You are not here to follow the crowd. You are here to lead, to transform, and to bring light to a world that desperately needs it. How will you step boldly into this calling, knowing that your nonconformity is not just a challenge to the world, but a reflection of God's purpose in your life? Chosen one, this is just the beginning of understanding how your spiritual energy impacts the world around you. You've likely seen how your presence can unsettle others, inspire some, and reveal truths that many are not ready to confront. But now, let me ask you something. Are you truly ready to embrace your power, even if it makes others uncomfortable? This next step isn't about simply recognizing your energy. It's about owning it fully, unapologetically, and without fear. For too long, you may have felt the need to tone yourself down, to soften your edges or to make yourself more palatable for those around you. But let me tell you this, the world doesn't need a diluted version of you. It needs all of you, your light, your truth, your radiant, unapologetic self. Have you ever caught yourself trying to shrink in a room because your presence felt too much for others? This tendency to dim your light might have come from a desire to fit in or avoid making waves. But chosen one, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to shine, and to lead. Jesus didn't hold back his truth to make people comfortable. He spoke boldly and lived in alignment with his divine purpose, even when it unsettled those around him. In John 8:12, he declared, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Like him, you are called to bring light into the world. Your light is a force that dispels darkness, even when it challenges the comfort zones others have built around themselves. Being a chosen one isn't about superiority, it's about carrying a profound responsibility. Your energy, your vibration, and your very presence have the power to challenge the status quo and awaken others to deeper truths. This can feel disruptive to people who are not ready for transformation. Awakening is rarely a gentle process. It is raw, uncomfortable, and messy. That's why your presence can sometimes scare people. It's not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing exactly what you were meant to do. Think about how the Apostle Paul, once Saul, had his awakening on the road to Damascus, Acts 9:3-6. It was not subtle. It was a blinding light, a moment of undeniable truth that transformed his life forever. Your energy carries this same power. You disrupt illusions, spark transformation, and call people to a higher version of themselves. Have you ever considered that the discomfort you bring to others is a sign that you're fulfilling your divine purpose? Every time you diminish your light to make others more comfortable, you are denying the world the gift of your authenticity. You were chosen to lead, to awaken, and to transform, not to conform. As Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." The world doesn't need another person following the crowd or blending in. It needs leaders, disruptors, and truth bearers. People like you who are willing to question the norm and pave a new path. This isn't always easy. Standing in your truth may cost you approval, comfort, or even relationships, but the reward is far greater: the fulfillment of your divine purpose and the transformation of lives around you. Chosen one, the time has come to embrace who you are without apology. Stop shrinking. Stop softening your edges to fit into places you've outgrown. The power within you is not a burden, it's a gift. It will inspire some, challenge others, and transform many. But above all, it is meant to be owned. Your energy, your light, and your presence are all part of a greater plan. How will you take the next step, fully stepping into the power and purpose God has placed in your life? Every time you hide your truth, every time you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, you betray the purpose for which you were chosen. Have you ever thought about how your energy could inspire someone else to rise, yet your hesitation might be keeping them from seeing the possibilities within themselves? You are a beacon, a guide, and a mirror for those who are ready to awaken. But if you constantly dim your light, how can they find their way? As Isaiah 61 reminds us, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Your light isn't just for you. It's meant to illuminate the path for others, showing them what's possible when you embrace your truth unapologetically. How many times in your life have you held back because you were afraid of being too much? You might have felt the need to soften your voice, suppress your intuition, or blend in with the crowd to avoid discomfort. But imagine if Moses had held back when God called him to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. At first, he doubted himself, saying in Exodus 4:10, "Pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent. I am slow of speech and tongue." Yet, God assured him, "Now go. I will help you speak and will teach you what to say." Exodus 4:12. Like Moses, you may feel hesitant, but your calling isn't about perfection. It's about obedience and trust. What would your life look like if you stopped doubting your worth and allowed yourself to step into the fullness of your purpose? The truth is, when you step into your power, you give others permission to do the same. Your spiritual energy is transformative, and yes, it might scare some people at first, but for those who are ready, it becomes a gift, a catalyst for healing and awakening. Have you ever noticed how your authenticity inspires others to question their own beliefs or take bold steps toward change? This isn't a coincidence. In Acts 4:13, when Peter and John spoke boldly, it was written, "When they saw the courage of Peter and John and realized that they were unschooled, ordinary men, they were astonished and took note that these men had been with Jesus." Your courage to live authentically like theirs speaks volumes. It challenges people's comfort zones, and while it may feel unsettling, it also plants seeds of transformation. Let's be real. Owning your light isn't always easy. It requires courage, self-trust, and a willingness to stand firm, even when misunderstood. Have you ever felt the weight of people projecting their fears and insecurities onto you, trying to make you doubt yourself? Jesus faced this too. When he spoke of his divine purpose, many questioned him, even those in his hometown. In Mark 6:4, Jesus said, "A prophet is not without honor, except in his own town, among his relatives, and in his own home." Like him, you may find that not everyone will celebrate your growth, but their reactions are not your responsibility. You are here to be a force of truth, love, and transformation, even when it makes others uncomfortable. So how do you stay grounded in your power when the world around you feels uncertain? It begins with self-awareness. Pay attention to the moments when you feel the urge to hold back. Are you staying quiet because you fear how others will react? Or are you being true to yourself? The more you become aware of these moments, the more empowered you'll be to choose authenticity over fear. David demonstrated this awareness when he faced Goliath. Others doubted him, but David declared in 1 Samuel 17:45, "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Like David, you must trust the divine power within you, even when others question your ability. Another key to staying grounded is surrounding yourself with people who see and honor your light. Not everyone will understand or appreciate your energy, but there are those who will. Have you noticed how some people are drawn to you, not just for what you say, but for the way you make them feel seen and understood? These are your people, the ones who will uplift you as you walk your path. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Seek out relationships that sharpen and strengthen you, and don't be afraid to let go of those that no longer align with who you're becoming. Now let's talk about one of your greatest tools, your voice. When you speak, people listen, not just to your words, but to the energy and truth behind them. Have you ever felt a truth burning inside you, waiting to be shared, but held it back out of fear of judgment? Your voice carries the power to awaken, to heal, and to inspire, but it can only do so if you use it. When Esther was called to speak up to save her people, she hesitated at first. But Mordecai reminded her in Esther 4:14, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Like Esther, you are here for a reason, and your voice is a key part of your purpose. What message is burning inside you waiting to be released? The world needs your perspective, your wisdom, and your truth. Chosen one, at the core of your spiritual energy is love. Pure, unconditional, and transformative love. Have you ever wondered why love, the most beautiful and healing force in the universe, can also be the most intimidating? This is what scares people the most about you. When you embody love fully, it's not just an emotion or a kind gesture. It becomes a force that shakes people to their core. Love, in its truest form, is powerful because it demands authenticity. It strips away masks, breaks down walls, and exposes truths people often hide, even from themselves. But here's the beauty of it. Love also heals. It brings people back to their essence, to their truth, and to the light they've forgotten. This is why your love is transformative, and this is why it's so vital that you lead with it, even when it's hard. Love is not weakness. Love is not submission. Love is the ultimate strength, the ultimate rebellion, and the ultimate power. When Jesus said in John 15:12, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you," he wasn't referring to a passive, fragile love. He was speaking of a love so strong that it could change lives, a love so bold that it could challenge injustice, and a love so pure that it could endure rejection and pain. Like him, you're called to lead with this kind of love. Have you noticed how your love challenges people to see themselves clearly, even when it makes them uncomfortable? I want to remind you of something deeply important. You are chosen for a reason. Your energy, your gifts, and your presence are not accidental. They are intentional, purposeful, and absolutely necessary for this world. Just as Esther was placed in a position of influence for such a time as this, Esther 4:14, you are here at this moment, in this life, for a divine purpose. Your role is to make an impact, to create change, and to be a light in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. Yes, your energy may scare people, but it's also what will inspire them. It's what will awaken them to their own truth and lead them toward transformation. Let me leave you with a question. What would your life look like if you stopped holding back? If you fully embraced your light, your power, and your truth, how would the world around you transform? Imagine what could happen if you lived every moment unapologetically as the radiant being you were created to be. In Matthew 5:14-16, Jesus says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Chosen one, the world is waiting for you. It's waiting for your love, your light, and your unique gifts. Step into your power fully. Stop holding back. You have the ability to change lives, to spark transformation, and to lead others toward their highest selves. So go out there and shine. The world needs you now more than ever. Now that we've explored the power of your spiritual energy and its impact on others, it's time to take this understanding to the next level. This is your moment to embrace the fearless glow of your essence. Not just to own who you are, but to amplify it. Your energy is a rare gift, like a fire burning brightly in a world too often cloaked in shadows. But let's be honest, have you ever felt overwhelmed by your own intensity? Have you wondered if you're truly capable of carrying the weight of your purpose? If so, you're not alone. Every chosen one has wrestled with these questions. Here's the truth. You were built for this. Every chosen one goes through a period of self-doubt, a phase that feels almost like a rite of passage. You ask yourself, why me? Why do I feel so different? Why does my energy have this effect on people? These questions don't mean you're weak, they mean you're awakening. Instead of seeing your uniqueness as a burden, start seeing it as a calling. You're not here to blend in, you're here to stand out. Consider Jeremiah's calling when God told him, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." Jeremiah 1:5. Like Jeremiah, You were chosen for a purpose greater than you may yet realize. The first step to shining brighter is to stop fearing your own light. This may sound simple, but it's one of the hardest lessons to learn. Have you ever noticed how society conditions us to believe that standing out is dangerous? We're told to tone ourselves down, to avoid being too much, because it might lead to rejection or isolation. But the truth is, your light isn't the problem, it's the solution. You weren't meant to fit into spaces that weren't built for you. You were meant to create new spaces, to expand what's possible, and to show others they can do the same. Remember how Jesus said in John 8:12, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Your light is a reflection of the divine within you, a force meant to illuminate, not to be hidden. But what scares you more, the idea of being too much or the idea of not being enough? For many chosen ones, these fears intertwine, creating a tension that keeps them stuck. You might worry that your energy is overwhelming, but at the same time, you fear you're not fully living up to your potential. This internal conflict is a heavy weight to carry, but the only way to break free is to embrace the paradox. You are both powerful and imperfect, both a work in progress and a masterpiece. Think of Paul's words in 2 Corinthians 12:9. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Your imperfections do not diminish your light. They make it relatable, human, and even more powerful. One of the most practical ways to embrace your light is to ground yourself in your purpose. When you're clear about why you're here, the opinions of others lose their hold on you. So, what drives you? What lights you up? What is the impact you want to have on the world? Your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing by society's standards. It could be as simple as spreading kindness, creating art that moves people, or raising a family with love and intention. Whatever your purpose is, let it anchor you. Like a tree rooted deeply in the earth, your light becomes unshakable when grounded in something greater than yourself. Consider how Jesus remained unwavering in his purpose, even when faced with rejection, opposition, and unimaginable challenges. In Luke 4:18-19, he declared, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." His clarity of purpose gave him the strength to continue his mission, regardless of the obstacles. How can you root yourself in your own purpose with the same conviction? Chosen one, your light is not a burden. It's a gift. It was placed within you for a reason. The fire you carry may feel intimidating at times, but it's meant to inspire, heal, and transform. Stop holding back. Stop doubting whether you are enough. You are enough because you were created with intention, with love, and with divine purpose. The world needs your light now more than ever. Step boldly into your calling and watch as your fire ignites transformation, not just within yourself, but in everyone you touch. Chosen one. Another key to shining brighter is learning how to navigate the discomfort your energy might create in others. Let's be honest, not everyone will celebrate your light. Some people will feel threatened by it, while others might try to dim it out of jealousy, fear, or misunderstanding. Have you ever felt someone's resentment or resistance simply because you were being yourself? Here's an important truth to remember. Their reaction says more about them than it does about you. Your energy is like a mirror, reflecting back their unhealed wounds and hidden fears. When someone reacts negatively to you, it's often because they're grappling with the parts of themselves they're not ready to face. This is why your presence can be so triggering for some. Your light doesn't just illuminate, it reveals. It brings to the surface everything that's been hidden in the shadows. And for many people, that's an uncomfortable process. Think of how Jesus' light exposed the hypocrisy of the religious leaders in his time. In John 3:20 it says, "Everyone who does evil hates the light, and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed." Like Jesus, your light doesn't just comfort, it challenges. And while this might create discomfort, it also creates opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing these reactions as obstacles, try reframing them as opportunities. Every time someone is triggered by your energy, it's a chance for growth, not just for them, but for you as well. Ask yourself, how can I show compassion in this moment? How can I hold space for their discomfort without taking it on as my own? These questions remind you that your role isn't to fix others, but to lead with love and understanding. This doesn't mean tolerating disrespect or negativity. It means approaching these situations with grace, knowing that healing often begins in discomfort. Consider how Joseph handled the jealousy and betrayal of his brothers. In Genesis 37, Joseph's dreams and unique energy caused his brothers to feel threatened, leading them to sell him into slavery. Yet, years later, Joseph rose to a position of power in Egypt and chose to forgive his brothers, saying in Genesis 50:20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Like Joseph, you can choose to see challenges as part of a larger purpose. How might your ability to respond with love and understanding transform not only your own growth, but also the growth of those around you? Part of being a chosen one is recognizing that your energy isn't just meant to shine, it's meant to heal. And healing is rarely a smooth, easy process. It's messy, uncomfortable, and at times painful. But it's also deeply transformative. Your light acts as a catalyst for others to confront their shadows and begin their own journey of growth. When you encounter resistance or negativity, remember that these moments are not just tests. They are part of your calling. How you respond to them can either amplify your light or dim it. The choice is yours. Now let's delve deeper into the importance of self-care for someone with a powerful spiritual presence. Your energy is unique, transformative, and magnetic, but it also requires intentional care to remain strong and vibrant. Have you ever felt completely drained after giving so much of yourself to others? This happens because your spiritual energy is a light that naturally attracts those in need of healing and guidance. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. If your own energy is depleted, it becomes impossible to show up fully in your purpose. Self-care isn't a luxury for you, it's a necessity. What do you do to replenish your spirit? For some, this might mean setting clear boundaries, learning to say no to people or situations that drain your energy, and protecting your time and space. Have you ever noticed how difficult it can be to say no, even when you know it's what's best for you? Boundaries are not acts of rejection, they are acts of self-preservation. Jesus himself demonstrated this wisdom. In Luke 5:16, it says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." Even the Son of God recognized the need to retreat, recharge, and reconnect with the divine source. How much more important is it for you, as a chosen one, to follow this example? For others, recharging might mean spending time in nature, meditating, journaling, or engaging in creative activities that nourish your soul. Think about the practices that bring you peace and clarity. Is it the stillness of a walk in the forest, the rhythm of waves on the shore, or the quiet moments of prayer and reflection? These moments of connection are not just restorative, they are sacred. As Isaiah 40:31 reminds us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." When you make self-care a priority, you align with this promise, allowing your energy to soar rather than falter. Your light shines brightest when you operate from a place of balance and wholeness. Neglecting self-care doesn't just affect you, it impacts everyone who relies on your energy, your guidance, and your presence. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is an act of stewardship over the gift God has entrusted to you. So let me ask you, how can you create sacred practices that restore your soul and allow you to shine even brighter? Now let's address a common barrier for chosen ones, the fear of failure. Have you ever held back from stepping fully into your light because you were afraid of falling short? Maybe you've thought, what if I try and fail? What if I'm not as powerful as I think I am? These thoughts can paralyze you, keeping you from embracing the fullness of your purpose. But let's reframe this fear. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every stumble, every setback, and every lesson learned is a stepping stone toward growth. Think of Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, who boldly stepped out of the boat to walk on water. In that moment, Peter was full of faith, but when doubt crept in, he began to sink. Jesus didn't condemn him. Instead, he reached out his hand and said, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" Matthew 14:31. Peter's moment of doubt wasn't the end of his journey. It was a powerful lesson in trust and perseverance. Like Peter, you are allowed to stumble. Your growth and success are not about being perfect, but about having the courage to step out of the boat in the first place. So let me ask you, if you weren't afraid of failure, how brightly would you shine? What risks would you take? What dreams would you pursue? These questions are not just hypothetical. They are the keys to unlocking your true potential. Fear of failure keeps so many chosen ones from stepping into their light, but the only real failure is refusing to try. Every time you take a step forward, even if it doesn't go as planned, you're growing, learning, and becoming more of who you were created to be. Your light doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. God didn't choose you because you're flawless. He chose you because your authenticity has the power to inspire, heal, and transform. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, Paul writes, "But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.'" Your imperfections are not a hindrance, they are a testament to God's grace working through you. Embracing your light also means embracing the lessons that come with failure. Every setback is an opportunity to grow closer to your purpose. Every misstep is a chance to learn something new about yourself and the path you're walking. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to show up, to try, and to trust that your light is enough. Chosen one, let go of the fear that you have to get it right every time. What matters is that you show up, that you keep moving forward, and that you allow your light to shine in all its authenticity. Self-care, courage, and a willingness to embrace failure are the tools that will allow you to step fully into your purpose. So ask yourself, how can you begin living today without fear of failure, fully trusting that your light, even in its imperfections, is exactly what the world needs? Your journey doesn't require perfection, it requires you. Beloved chosen one, remember you are not here to play small. You are not here to blend into the background. You are here to disrupt, to awaken, and to inspire. Your energy was given to you for a reason, and while it may challenge others, or even scare them at times, that is precisely what makes it so powerful. The world is waiting for your light. Don't keep it hidden any longer. Step forward boldly, not just for yourself, but for everyone who needs to see what's possible when someone embraces their truth fully. Now, as we bring this journey to a close, I want to reflect on the incredible power you hold. You've come to understand that your energy doesn't just impact those you encounter. It ripples outward, shifting the collective consciousness in ways you may never fully see. Every time you choose authenticity over fear, every time you show up as your higher self, you are creating waves of transformation. Have you ever realized that your courage to live authentically could be the exact inspiration someone else needs to step into their own light? This is the profound responsibility and blessing of being chosen. But here's something important. Even as you step into this light, you don't have to do it alone. This community is here to support you, to remind you of your power when the path feels difficult, and to amplify the work you're doing in the world. If this message has resonated with you, and if you feel inspired to help this mission reach more chosen ones like yourself, I humbly invite you to consider donating through Super Thanks. Your support, no matter the amount, allows us to continue creating and sharing messages that uplift, empower, and awaken. It ensures that others who are struggling to embrace their light can find the guidance and encouragement they need. It's not just a donation, it's an act of love, a ripple that extends far beyond what any of us can see. Every contribution fuels this mission, helping to shine a light where it's needed most. To everyone who has already supported us in this way, I offer my deepest gratitude. Your generosity makes this work possible, and I pray that it returns to you in abundance, through blessings, opportunities, and joy. And to those who simply chose to spend their time here with this message, thank you. Your presence alone is a gift. Whether you donate or not, your light, your energy, and your willingness to listen are part of the ripple effect that's changing the world. As you step into the next chapter of your journey, remember this: you were created with divine intention. Your energy, your gifts, your presence, they all matter deeply. Keep shining your light, beloved chosen one. The world needs it now more than ever, and it is waiting for you. May you walk boldly in your truth. May your path be illuminated with divine guidance, and may blessings overflow in your life as you continue to inspire and awaken the world around you. Thank you for being here, for showing up, and for being exactly who you are. Go forth and shine, unapologetically, courageously, and radiantly.